41.
Right.
The Cowboys put up 42 in the first half, tie a franchise record for points in the first half. And the funny thing about it is that their first drive went 6 plays punt.
2 sacks.
After 2 sacks and a failed trick play that could have at least put them in position to possibly go for it on 4th down. And, I mean, it's just going to be such a memeable game, for lack of a better term. I mean, everybody was joking about Washington bringing in their own benches. Are the benches heated like the ones that Dallas sent to Washington a couple weeks ago? And then you have Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne literally come to blows on the sideline. I mean, you might see guys get heated, but you're rarely going to frustrate a team to a point where two guys who line up together on
Right.
the field, one of them goes finger point in the eye, and that, in my opinion, properly elicits a punch from the other.
Yep.
I mean, it's been a laugher in more ways than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, when he stuck his finger in his face, you knew that what was coming next.
Yeah, and I hope that's the way it ends up getting, adjudicated, whether it's by the team or the league or the public. But I mean, even that aside, Terrence Steele scoring a touchdown on a play that they had McGovern in at fullback. Normally I would say the fact that we talk so much about Amari Cooper and the very, very subtle but Amari Cooper way of saying, hey, I'd really like you guys to get me involved here a little bit more. And the fact that they go to him not only on the first play of the game, but that he ends up with, I think if we would have seen 7 for 84 on 9 targets and a touchdown in this game, we would have said, dang, they got the ball to Amari.
Right.
That's a half.
Right. Like the last time he had 7 targets in a game was the Minnesota game, which Dak did not start. Obviously, that was a Cooper Rush game. Cooper definitely wanted the ball a little bit more, and could kind of see they were really force-feeding him the ball, and that's not a bad thing to do by any stretch of the means. He's a terrific receiver, and he made a good play. I mean, that was a great catch in the end zone tonight, and it's also been nice to see Dak being as mobile, not just picking up that first down like he did with his legs, but just extending plays, behind the line of scrimmage and hitting. I think their longest play of the night was the broken play that he ended up pointing to Gallup, and Gallup had 42 yards on that play. So those types of plays have been something we haven't seen for about a month now.
Yeah, that was huge. But there's been, I don't know, like 3 or 4 plays where he evaded the rush. The called run is probably not coming back as a staple of this offense for Dak. But if he can be somebody who is effective in those scramble drills in the way that he's been in the past, and then you just look at the numbers for the first half, and they're really not that accurate for what he was as far as how accurate he was.
Right.
Because he ended up in that drive at the end there where they ended up scoring with, I think, 6 incompletions on – he might have gone 6 of 12. And he's only got 8 incompletions in the half. So you look at it and you think, 27 of 35, that's nice. But really –
He was 21 of 23.
Yeah, so they're airing it out there on the final drive that just completely goes for a kill shot there at the end of the half. So you take everything we've said so far, and then the fact that I think not only that Zeke and Pollard have both looked solid, a lot of times I feel like there have been really, really solid rushing lanes, for the Dallas backs there. And that's an area where Washington was not really banged up coming into the game. They've got guys in the middle. It's just that those guys in the middle are attacking each other rather than the Dallas rushing lanes.
Yeah, so Zeke right now is 6 carries, 30 yards. Pollard, 4 carries, 24 yards. Dak has 4 carries and 21 yards, even though those are more just scrambles. Lamb had the 1 -2 yard run, but 15 carries all in all for Dallas, 73 yards rushing. But the fact that they've run, 52 plays in the first half?
Jeez.
That's insane.
It really is. And we've made it this far without even talking about the defense.
Right.
And I know that Washington's dealing with what they're dealing with offensively. Antonio Gibson did end up going, which I don't think we planned to see that in the pregame. But just another defensive touchdown, another laughable moment where Randy Gregory rolls over to lay down next to Heineke again.
You saw that? I saw that too.
Yeah. I mean, we made it this far into this without even mentioning that and just everything that the pass rush has been doing in this game. And then the fact that, the sixth thing we're mentioning is that on the first play of the game for Washington, they decided to take a deep shot to Diggs on a play action where they knew they'd get one-on-one, and Diggs just runs the route for McLaurin.
Right, and you got Jordan Lewis tweeting during the game and saying that I knew that Washington was disrespectful, but I didn't know they were stupid. Like,
yeah, that's not what you're planning on. Whenever you defer and think you get a stop, you're going to go play one at the guy who's leading the NFL in interceptions, and he'll give up one on you. But you better be careful if that's the type of shot you want to take at him. And I just don't really know that I've ever seen a game where so much went right in one half ever.
Yeah, hopefully they can get out of this thing without any injuries. We talked about the competition between the offense and the defense between this game. The defense was up 2 going in. Then they get 2 turnovers in the first half, and they're probably going to be out of this down 2 now. And maybe even more than that. I haven't done the math, but I think they should get 2 points for the Tank Lawrence touchdown pick 6 return, which, by the way, that was the couple of records broken. That was his 17th player to score for Cowboys this year, which is a team record. Most players to score a touchdown in a year. That was also their 6th defensive touchdown in 8th non-offensive touchdown, if you can follow all that. They have 2 special teams touchdowns this year, so 8 touchdowns this year for a Cowboys defensive special teams unit. That is the best in the NFL by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and Lawrence looked like a man possessed on getting that to the end zone. So maybe they do have something worked out with the takeaway touchdown bet, because that was an extremely athletic play.
It was, and if you look at the film, Diggs was the one that got I think Diggs got in front of him through a lead block, which was insane if you watch his tackling, how he's backed out, because he goes against like 2 offensive linemen and to help Lawrence get in the end zone there. It was really an amazing play by Diggs and by Lawrence on that one. So we got a lot to talk about. Hopefully the Cowboys can wrap this thing up. It's 42-7 at halftime, Jake. Let's get out of here. Hopefully the Cowboys, no injuries, can get out of this game healthy. And hopefully the second half will go by fast so we can get on to that post-game show.
All right, I'll talk to you then, man.